Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, if you could please say hello to everybody.
Hello, class. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Glad to see you all are in attendance today.
You can't see them.
One
Yeah,
of you.
fair. Yeah, our in-class students.
That was good. That was clever.
That's good. That's right.
And that in-class student, of course, our young trainer in training, is Corbin. If you could please say hello to everybody, Corbin. Oh,
hey.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I've been a little sick the last week or so. So if
no.
I sound like poop, then you'll have to excuse me.
Well,
so
wait, you're
hey,
sick and you came to class?
Yeah, you know the strict rules. All right, in the corner. I gotta cover you in bubble wrap.
No,
What?
I think that shows determination. I think maybe I'm starting to like you, Corbin. Maybe, just maybe.
Really?
Just
Professor,
maybe.
he puts you at risk, Professor.
Listen, there's no risk greater than missing out on knowledge, Mr. Curtis. So write that down.
Yeah.
I know you write down verbatim everything I say every lesson, but make sure you write that little gem down. And put that on a t-shirt.
Well, Curtis, I think you're forgetting, the poster that you got for the professor this Christmas. Do you see what it says right there? Look behind you. It says, Professor Jacob is built different. So with that being said, I don't think he has to worry about getting sick,
It is true.
That is true.
We're not even sure that you have, a human respiratory system, Mr. Curtis. So I think
I'm not at risk. I'm concerned.
Why would he not have one?
Is there anything about him that's human?
He looks human. He's just got a
barely
weird number of
barely.
fingers and
He looks human.
very tall and gangly and trench. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah. So thanks for coming here today, everybody. But you're probably wondering why I've gathered you all here today. Well, to talk about Pokemon.
Yes.
I know.
Take a quiz.
Maybe there's a quiz. I don't know.
Ooh.
Sometimes we do quizzes. Sometimes we don't do quizzes. A lot of the times we don't do quizzes, actually. But no, we're going to be talking about Pokemon today. But before I get into that, I would like to read some Gengar mails I've gotten from students. First one.
Very good.
Yes,
I have a couple here for you too, Professor.
Oh gosh, thank you. Wow. Well, look at these. These are all great.
Some more. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't need that many. I can't read that many. We really gotta get to the
Are those coffee stains? What is that?
Oh, I dropped some on the way to class today. Had to go back and pick them up. They fell in a puddle. It's not. My printer's at home. I had to do it there and bring it in.
I don't know why you printed them out.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
You can just read them off of his Rotom laptop.
My Rotom desktop.
What I do is I print them out off the printer at home, and then I bring them to school, and then I scan them back into the Rotom computer.
Right,
and
naturally.
then I
a
email
Rotom
them
scanner.
to the professor. That's
okay,
right.
So interesting. Yeah, I love it.
And then I email them back to the professor at that point.
Okay,
Right.
So wait, why am I getting physical copies then right now? At what point in the process has this occurred? Where are we right now? Am I supposed to scan them?
No. I've already scanned these, but you get a physical copy as well.
Oh, cool. Okay, so in duplicate, you give them to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So our first Gmail comes to us from Icy. They say, "Hello, Professor Jacob, Mr. Curtis, and Corbin. My name is Icy."
Hello.
Hi, what's up?
No, they aren't
Hi.
here. You can't. You can't hear them. They can't hear you. Well, maybe they can hear you, I guess. I have joined this amazing class very late, but have been keeping up with the lessons. I still think that I'd be an amazing candidate for vice president. Some facts about me are that I love ghost Pokemon and bug Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon...
Yes, a connoisseur of the bug.
My favorite Pokemon is Gengar. Oh, you think it would be Shedinja? Shedinja?
Gengar's a good bug and ghost type.
No, Gengar's not a bug. It's just... We talked about this, Corbin.
It's
It's ghost poison.
Right.
My favorite Pokemon is Gengar. I would make sure that the student president is in the right state of mind. I hope that you read this with a cup of coffee. Well, I do have my coffee right here. So your wish is granted. So unfortunately, Icy, we aren't doing vice president elections. We're just going to keep it to class president for now to keep things kind of simple for us. But thank you.
Well, I'm the vice president now by default.
No, you are not.
No.
That's where I'm at.
That's
you
not
are
how
not.
that works.
The council has decided I am this council.
So, Mr. Curtis, do you want to give that Gmail a gold star, or what do you think? Where are we on the gold star rating here?
It was going to be a silver star, but because they said they love bug Pokemon, they get the upgrade. They can have the gold star.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I'll pay if you give me.
That's all you need to do, students. Just mention Spinarak and that you like them, and Mr. Curtis will give you a gold star.
And I'll take if I can
say
have that
any
back. I'm just
heinous thing to begin with, and as long as you end it with "I like Spinarak," gold
you
star
can
for
wish
you.
death upon all of us in the class, but as long as you like a Spinarak, you're good to go.
I mean, no one who likes Spinarak can be a bad person. I mean, that's just the way it is.
The world's a big place.
But if you wouldn't mind, I'll take that back, and I'm gonna pin it up on the wall here.
Okay.
And goes right up there
Good
with
work.
the other pieces of art that are up on the wall.
Okay. The next email comes to us from Hamish. They say, "Hello, Corbin, Curtis, and Professor Jacob.
I'm first. You hear that? You hear that?
Yeah, you are first." They go on to say, "My starter Pokemon," and then in parentheses, "I'm 11, so a year older than Corbin."
All right. Well, let's not brag here.
Which is why they have a starter Pokemon already. So my starter Pokemon is the class favorite Decidueye, right from the Alola region.
Oh! There we go.
We do love a Decidueye. We haven't talked about Decidueye yet, so you don't know much about Decidueye.
You know, it's not a bug type, which means it's automatically inferior, but it is a pretty good Pokemon. So I will excuse you in this instance.
So they say class favorite Decidueye, right from the Alola region, but I'm in the same region as Dawn. Corbin, I see you blushing. The Gmail said. I'm not saying that the Gmail
It's
says
fine.
that.
You're older. You have a Decidueye, and you're close to Dawn, my sweetheart. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Nobody cares. Whatever. It's fine.
Sounds like you
I
care a
don't
little
care.
bit.
I don't really care. It's fine. Whatever. I'm not upset about it at all.
Hamish continues with, but I also have a Feraligatr. And this is what the Hisuian Pokeballs look like, if Corbin and Curtis don't know what they look like. Also, once this gets to you, I hope it gets a gold star. Bye!
I have a question. Really, really quickly.
Uh-huh.
Who entrusted this child with a Decidueye and a ferocious Feraligatr?
They probably got them as a Totodile
Birthday present?
and well, they
Rowlet.
Yeah, and a Rowlet. So and then evolved them.
But Corbin, when you
turn 11.
When you turn 11, you get your license, your certification for Pokemon handling, then you can have whatever Pokemon you want. Because at that point, you will have learned about them all and know the proper care of each. And that's what's key.
They did also, Hamish also sent us a Hisuian Pokeball, which are like some of the earliest forms of Pokeballs. Yeah, that they drew, and it's very, very nice. I think it's an excellent representation.
Very good.
Yeah.
I really hope that was not copied from the World Wide Web.
No, don't be crazy.
No,
don't be crazy.
If it was, I will get the gold stars.
What do you think, Mr. Curtis? Gold star worthy?
Didn't mention liking Spinarax though.
It's a good drawing.
It's
good drawing
though.
Ooh, it is a good drawing. Okay, I mean, just because the drawing is so good and it's such a classic design, so I'll have to get some of those Pokeballs. But yes, we'll put it up on the wall. You get a gold star too.
All right,
excellent. All right, moving on to the next Gmail. It comes to us from Jacob L. Not me. I didn't write this Gmail.
No.
Sure.
Everybody knows that's not your last name. So
yeah,
of course
my last name doesn't start with an L. But just out of curiosity, you guys remember what my last name is?
Jacob, Professor Jacob.
Nope,
it's Jacob.
Nope, incorrect. It's wrong.
Oh,
it's wrong, and you'll have to go through the earlier lessons if you want to figure out what it is, because I'm not going to say it again. But Jacob L says, "'Tis I writing again." Jacob. Wait, hold on. "'Tis I writing again, Jacob." Okay, it's me, Jacob, that time, not him, Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
'Tis I writing again, Jacob, and I am here to formally apologize to my fellow classmate for saying his rhymes were poor, and that I am retracting myself from the vote. I believe he can indeed find a future in rap, and I wish him luck.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you recall, your name was not retracted from the vote. We did include you.
Wah. Sorry.
But you didn't get it, so, it all worked out in the end.
That would have been funny if he had won. Because then if he had won and then he retracted his vote, then I would have gotten it again by default.
Yeah, probably de facto, I guess you would have gotten.
But it's fine. I'll settle for vice president. It's fine.
You're not vice president. There is no vice president.
That's not how it works.
We need to have one.
So yeah, those are all of the Gmails today. We are still waiting for a presidential address from Kaysen. So Kaysen, if you would like, go ahead and send that to us. Or if not, you can also send us a Gmail that says, no, I don't want to do that. That's fine too.
That's fine. And I will I'll write an address on your behalf. That's fine.
So yeah, also, before we really get into the lesson, I do want to say thank you so much to all the people that have been subscribing to our Patreon. It is honestly, any kind of we're happy to get any kind of donation, but the response has been really, really good, and the interactions on the Discord have been amazing. If you want to go to the Patreon, we'll probably talk about it more at the end of the lesson. But if you want to go to the Patreon, it's patreon.com WWO Pokemon. Is that right? Did I say that right? Is
there
a
backslash
in there?
Patreon.com/WWO Pokemon.
Okay.
Patreon.com, yeah, /
So it's patreon.com/WWO Pokemon. So yeah.
I just have to say it has been really great because
Curtis
has been so happy with the Patreon success that he actually burned a $100 bill in front of me before we started class today.
That's how I purge the bad energies from class, because I have to burn a $100 bill. And up until now, it's been my.
I was like, "Why are you doing this?" I was like, "Stop doing this." And he said, "It's okay. We'll earn twice as much in the next hour."
No, it's
and
not.
I was like, I don't know about that.
I wish.
So,
it's always been my own money. But now it's your money, so I'm glad. I don't have to spend my own money.
Like to reassure students that we aren't just burning the money that you give us. We aren't literally.
We are not burning the money. No, Mr. Curtis is burning his own. He will not touch the pot of gold.
Whoa.
So yeah, we're gonna make sure that any money that we do get from Patreon is gonna go right back into the classroom, so we can.
And not to Spinnerack research. Thank you.
Not to Spinnerack research. You're not gonna trick me again, Mr. Curtis.
It's less research and more like betterment of the world by improvement of the Spinnerack race.
I actually like that though as a Patreon reward. Instead of just doodles like we've been doing, you should have Spinnerack prototypes, like hybrids with other Pokemon.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have given you that idea. That's kind of terrible. Never
but
mind.
you are contractually obligated to give us a hand-drawn version of the Pokemon we're talking about every week. Mr. Curtis.
Don't worry. I've already got some ideas in mind.
Okay. On how to draw Tauros. Oh, we're learning about Tauros today.
Is it Tauros?
Yeah, we've been twiddling our
I've been
thumbs.
drawing Decidueye this entire time.
Oh, man. That's a Decidueye?
Can you please, Mr. Curtis, I've been meaning to ask you this for a while. Can you make sure your papers aren't so close to the recording device? It's very, very loud.
I'm sorry. I put so much work and effort into that Decidueye drawing.
Decidueye,
I mean,
yes.
you could keep it and wait until the Decidueye lesson, and then you don't have to draw something during that lesson.
I'd work on it a bit more. It looked like a Ditto to me.
Well, a Ditto is all Pokemon, so.
Oh yeah, true.
All right, so I actually have a Tauros here, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out.
I mean, it's not gonna be a real Tauros, right?
Well, it's not.
Here it is.
Wait,
here it is.
Wait,
in
no.
the flesh.
Whoa, get down, Corbin,
all right, batten down the hatches. All right, everybody get down underneath the table. There's going to be a whole horde of them coming in here any second now. I'm terrified. Everybody get down. Do you have a pillow? Curtis, do you have a pillow or blanket or something? Because this whole thing...
Wait, as long as it's not red. Make sure it's not red.
Okay, this whole place is going to crumble down.
I'll give you a wand. Go long, Corbin. You can...
It's not that big of a room. Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm dreading this. I don't want to die. It's going to be the Kangaskhan dilemma all over again.
Okay, everybody calm down. I know everybody's very worried. And you know what? This has been great. I see you guys have been taking your Raging Tauros training very, very seriously and all the protocol that goes along with that. So, listen. For a long time, we've had just a herd of 30 to 50 wild Tauruses ravaging the lands. in the Kanto region. We've all had to take necessary precautions, but this is not one of those. And that band has been we can deal with it now. So as long as everybody has gotten their Tauros injections, they should be fine.
I do.
Wait, do we inject the Tauros inside of us?
Listen, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know how they figured it out. How they figured out some way to keep the Tauruses away. But this is not one of those. This is a regular Taurus. It's not a raging one. It's not a part of that.
Oh my goodness! I thought we were gonna lose the whole school again. I was like, wow. First it was Mr. Curtis's fault that we lost the school. Then it was gonna be the professor's fault. I mean, it's just
whoa! No faults of anyone in particular.
Man, I was scared. Sorry. I'm glad everything's okay and we're not gonna lose the school.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Tauros. What's your name?
I don't know. What name do you guys think would be good for Tauros?
How about Tina?
No.
Is Tina good?
He looks like a technical guy. I want to call him Tech.
Tech. Yes, I do like that
Tech.
name. Yeah, I
Tech.
don't know why, but that name just sounds so good to me.
It sounds very good.
The professor says so. Then
I know. We're going to call him Tech, but it's with a 3 instead of an E. So it's T3CH. Tech.
Whoa. This Tauros is the coolest thing ever.
Tech the Tauros. He's cool.
Tech the Tauros. All right. So what do you guys notice about Tech? What are some features?
He is quadrupedal. All 4 of
legs.
those legs are firmly on the ground right now.
Yeah.
He has a really, really nice figure, honestly. I mean, like, I just love his build.
He's got some
Built like a brick house for sure.
For sure.
big horns.
Beautiful horns. Big horns. Big
horns.
horns for sure.
Yeah.
And a mane and a big brown, beautiful mane that I would just love to sleep in.
Right? Man, think of the blankets you could make from that.
Oh my god, yeah.
Think of all the Tauruses that have
He's got 3 tails. 3 tails.
All the better to tail you with, Corbin.
That was funny. And then they have like little poofs of fur at the end. I love them.
Yeah. Why do you think it has 3 tails? What we will talk about this during the lesson, but I just want to see what do you think the tails are for?
3 tails for 3 faces of the moon.
What?
I bet you they use it to swim. Spins like a propeller.
Well,
that sounds
right through the water.
ridiculous, Curtis.
Maybe one does. Maybe there is a Tauros that does that, but not this Tauros that we're looking at.
That sounds
here.
ridiculous.
Now, I want to go back to what Corbin said about the phases of the moon.
What's up?
What can you say it again? What did you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like, there's different phases of the moon, and maybe that each represents, one of them.
I don't.
Where's their moon phases? I'm confused.
What's up?
There's certainly more than 3 phases of the moon.
Well, listen, this is not an astrology class, okay? I'm just,
or an astronomy class.
Yeah, or an anatomy class.
Or archaeology class. There we go. That's the word.
Yep. Well, listen. I assumed there was 3 phases of the moon. That was what Professor Mime told me. He's a professor of jokes, not astrology, so he clearly doesn't know his stuff.
Well, it's fine that you don't know. And I think it's always good to look at something and just try to get your scientific brain turning. We'll learn about what those tails do later on. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Tech before I put him back into the Pokeball?
3 gems.
Yeah, well, are they gems? I don't think that they're gems in its forehead. I think that they're just,
they're like mini horns.
Yeah, well, not mini. Yeah, it's like made of the same material as the horns. So
Tiny
more
horns,
like
yes.
Ridges on their forehead to help with, I guess, ramming into things.
Yes, ramming horns. They're Rorns.
Or
oh my goodness.
Or hams.
Hams, sure.
They're hams. The hams of the Tauros.
The horn rams.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we've had Tech out for long enough. Make sure to say goodbye. Give Pet its nice fur before he goes.
So
I'm give him a little.
Don't do that. Don't
stop
do that.
kissing the Pokemon, Mr. Curse. Please, it's becoming a problem.
Huggability wise, I'd give him a 12.
A 12. Okay, what is the scale on? What's the scale? Again?
3 to 14, I think.
3 out of 14. Well, Mr. Curse, where are you rating this Tauros?
A
12 is extremely high. You will have to justify that, Corbin.
While it is very approachable and friendly, this one at least.
Yeah.
Whew,
they do rage. They do get mad.
They do rage, and it's not a bug type, so it certainly cannot score above an 8. without
I give it a 12.
So
without being a bug type.
all right,
I'm sorry.
so it can't score above an 8. What are you actually giving it though, Mr. Curtis?
No, and it's getting an 8.
Okay,
it's
an
getting
8.
Maximum possible for
Okay,
it.
great, excellent.
Cool.
Okay, yeah. So I'll split the difference and say 10 then.
Sure.
For,
10's
for,
good. 12.
All right,
maybe.
back into the Pokeball.
Bye, Tech.
Away with you.
What a good fella.
We should go rustle some more Tauros's, Professor.
Let's not.
Do you think we're the ones to do that? I don't think we have the
The
skill.
technology,
Yeah.
the skills, if you will.
Me with wobbly legs. Willie, my Rapidash. You.
I'm
foot,
there.
on foot.
Yep.
You're there.
Okay.
We'll make it happen.
All right. So I think it's time to start reading these Pokedex entries. What do you guys think?
I'm ready.
It's time.
All right. Starting off in the Kanto region, the first entry says, when it targets an enemy, it charges furiously while whipping its body with its long tails.
Wait, it whips its own body
Yes,
with its long tail?
it does
Why?
do that. Why? You know what? I'm gonna save that because that is answered in another Pokedex entry, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Kidding.
I know, right? Things being answered by Pokedex entries. It happens once in a blue moon, but it does happen.
Love it.
The next entry says, a rowdy Pokemon with a lot of stamina. Once running, it won't stop until it hits something.
Yeah, it won't stop coming.
Just keeps going.
Yeah, and don't stops going, and it can't stop going.
It just won't.
And this is a rowdy boy. I know Mr. Curtis loves to add the boy onto the ends of adjectives and things, but it is a rowdy Pokemon.
Is a rowdy
Yes,
boy.
a very rowdy boy. Yes.
Rowdy boy. The next entry says charges while whipping its hefty body with its tails. Rowdy and hefty. That's a dangerous combination.
Ooh, sounds like Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, right, Mr. Curtis.
Hey.
It goes on to say, although powerful, it can charge only in a straight line.
Wow. Oh, don't turn. Don't turn.
Can't
now.
turn.
Can't turn.
Won't
It won't.
Won't do it. We've
matter
asked
what.
it. We've begged it. We've pleaded with it. Please turn, but it
we
just
have
won't.
asked so many times, and it will not turn.
All right, that does it for the Kanto region. Moving on to the Johto region. They fight each other by locking horns. The herd's protector takes pride in its battle-scarred horns.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like, I mean, maybe that's what that herd of 30 to 40 raging Tauruses was doing. They're just trying to find the leader of their herd, and they're just so strong and ramming into each other that they couldn't.
Right.
But they did run into quite a few things. I mean,
It was like, yeah, the collateral damage was catastrophic. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget about that.
Killed over 1 million people at least.
I think one of your relatives, right, Corbin? Was
Yeah.
it your uncle or something? You were very broken up about it.
Yeah, one of my uncles was killed by the rampage. It was awful. It was great.
It was, what was their name?
I think it was
So we can remember them properly.
It was Vincent. I think it was. Yeah, Vincent. No. Vermin. That was his name. Vincent's the other one that got injured. Vermin died.
Wow, that's an awful name.
Yeah, I mean,
Imagine naming your child Vermin.
I blame my grandparents.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so hey, guys, do you think this is how we should decide who the next class president is?
Why?
what? Just who survives
a fight to the death?
Yeah,
No.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Let's make it the way of the Pokemon. This is a Pokemon class after all. If you want to be president, you got to succeed. You got to be the top.
You have to
top of the top.
You have to survive the Tauros trials.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think, Corbin? You still want to put your name in the running?
I think I will put my name and then I'll start running. How does that sound?
That's a solid strategy. Fight or flight. He's going with flight.
That's right.
All right. So this next entry is the one you guys have been waiting for. All right.
My whole life.
After heightening its will to fight by whipping itself with its 3 tails, it charges at full speed.
Okay, so it does it to hype itself up.
Yeah, it's a hype machine is what it's doing.
It's like me like beating my chest when I'm trying to get ready to play, like about to start throwing down some raps or something.
I hope you're not rapping anymore, Corbin.
Not in class.
Is that what you were doing? I thought you were just slapping some wet noodles together.
No, those are my arms.
Oh, you're gonna take that?
No. Sorry.
Yes, Corbin. It is like that. It's like, just getting itself all angry and ready to go by whipping itself with its tail.
Yes.
And that's why it has 3 of them. It just couldn't get the job done with 1 tail. It had to grow 2 more. The next entry says, these violent Pokemon fight with other members of their herd in order to prove their strength.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yep, we've talked about that already.
Yep.
Moving on to the Hoenn region. The first entry says, this Pokemon is not satisfied unless it is rampaging at all times.
Yeah.
If there is no opponent for Tauros to battle, it will charge at thick trees and knock them down to calm itself.
Wow.
So you just know when you get so mad, you just can't stop until you knock a couple trees down. That's pretty common.
I don't think so.
I don't relate to that, honestly, no.
You haven't dropped. Everybody's knocked some trees down in their day. I mean, come on.
With an axe?
No, you just smash your head into it a couple times. I mean, it's not. It's just a way to let loose some steam.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sometimes I do it by accident. I don't even mean to do it. Just whoops.
A whole tree? Really? You knock over a whole tree?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe? Here, I'll show you here.
There's no tree. We're in a class.
Oh, I've got a wooden desk here though.
I don't need to do
Don't
this.
break the wooden desk. You've already caused so much damage to the school. No, don't do it.
That's a direct order. You're disobeying.
Direct order.
You,
Although now
you will no longer be a teaching
assistant. He has whipped himself into a rampage now, so he has to do something.
Oh, no.
He has to break something. Oh, he did it. He broke the desk.
That's great.
All right.
See? Woo!
Now you will be paying. Now you will be paying for that, Mr. Curtis. Just so you know.
You will be.
That's another thing that's gonna come out of my bank account.
All right. The last entry from the Hoenn region says, when it is about to tackle, it whips its body repeatedly with its 3 long tails. Yep, checks out. It all checks out.
Checks in.
Moving on to the Sinnoh region. Once it takes aim at its foe, it makes a headlong charge. It is famous for its violent nature.
Woo!
Luckily, Tech, the Tauros, was not violent. I was able to make sure it had a mild nature, so it was very calm.
So what did you do before you sent it out? Did you throw a tree on its face earlier just to calm it down?
No, it's just naturally calm. Tech is just
good.
naturally calm and relaxed.
Tech's cool. I like Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I also like Tech.
10 out of 10.
Tech out of Tech.
8 out of 14.
That was funny, yeah.
From 3 to 14.
No, 12 out of 14.
12 out of 14. I don't like this rating scale that we have. Why did we do this?
I don't know.
On a 3 to 14 scale, 8 out of 3 to 14.
I think it's
Why do
a
we do
4
any
to
of this?
13,
Why are we
14?
here?
Well, that's a
We're
deep
here
question.
to learn.
We are here to learn, specifically here.
No, I mean
Now,
the purpose of life. What is?
Whoa.
What's this all for, guys?
I think this is a great place to talk about this, Corbin. I don't think there is a purpose to life, right?
Wow.
I mean, besides crafting the perfect spinner rack, of course.
That's a very nihilistic point of view
think
there, Professor.
Most of us don't have a purpose to life. Mr. Curtis, of course, has the purpose of crafting the most perfect spinner rack that was given to him when he was spawned upon this planet.
That's right. By the Night Mother.
The Night Mother, yeah.
Tasked me, and I will not stop.
Us mere mortals, Corbin, I think there isn't really a purpose, and we're just here to enjoy life, which I think is really freeing to think about personally.
I'm
and,
so
I
you
can't
know what?
think of a better
It says a
place.
lot.
Yes, go. No, please.
I was just gonna say it says a lot about you as a professor to tell all your students around the world that, quote, there is no purpose for your existence.
I didn't say that. I just said that life doesn't have a purpose, which is good.
We need a poster that says. We need a T-shirt that says that.
Life doesn't have a purpose. ... And that's good.
Yep.
Honestly, I think that in the middle, deep in the middle of this lesson on Tauros is the best place to talk about the meaning of life, honestly.
I honestly,
I couldn't think of a better place. But I'm actually going to cut it short and move to the next Pokedex entries, if that's okay with everybody.
That's fair. Another time.
No, okay. All right, sure.
All right, you're outvoted, Mr. Curtis, unfortunately. So there's nothing new in the Unova region, nothing new in the Kalos region. When is there ever? Guys, I can't wait to read some Kalos Pokedex entries. It's going to be so good.
Wait my whole life.
But anyways, moving on to the Alola region. They say, historically, people in areas all over the world have ridden Tauros, but the practice is said to have started in Alola.
Always does.
God, it's just, hey, guys, can we just acknowledge that Alola is the best region?
It sounds like it, and I know Professor Palm would say it is.
Debatable.
Everything is just better in Alola. The executors are longer. The Tauros were ridden to begin with. You know,
the Marowaks are all dead.
The Magmars burn hotter.
The Magmars burn hotter. You know, everything is just a little bit better.
Even the Mucks are shiny there. I mean, you know,
yeah,
they've got gems on them.
The next entry says, although it's known to be a fierce Pokemon, Tauros in the Alola region are said to possess a measure of calmness because we're better than everybody else.
Did you get tech from the Alola region?
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
You don't know where you got them from?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where most of these Pokeballs come from that I have in my storage back here.
Oh, they're just like delivered?
Yeah.
Private stash from my uncle's breeding center upstate.
You're making that up.
No. It's the truth.
I mean, well, I thought we sent them there afterwards, and then that's when the breeding happens.
Well, I mean, you know.
Now that is going on a t-shirt. That's when the breeding happens.
That's when the breeding happens. All right, the next entry says, they live in groups. The one with the longest, thickest, and most scarred horns is the boss of the herd.
Love that.
All right. I mean, I think we've already kind of learned that, although, you know, I guess having the longest and thickest horns would give them an advantage in any kind of fight that they would have for dominance. So
sure.
It makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, maybe they could have like a really good technical expertise, right? And they can, maybe they have a smaller, thinner horn, but they can use them better.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's a way. I don't know. I'm just theorizing here. But just, you know, I'm a scientist. It happens. I
would want you to be no other way, Professor.
Oh, thank you.
That's
you,
very
Mr.
sweet.
Curtis. And I would want my students to be no other way. I think that's important too. Yeah, you all have to have inquisitive minds. The last entry from the Alola region says, the climate seems to be related to the reason Tauros and Alola are a little calmer than those in other regions.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
okay.
It's like, I guess because it's hotter, they're just more tired, I think is
well, that's just going to be more temperate, you know? It's just more, it's a more soothing environment for them. It's warm. It's not hot. It's warm.
It's pretty hot, I think.
Well, it depends on what time of the day, you know.
Although compared, you know, I was thinking about this earlier. The Kanto region is also fairly temperate and warm, right?
Sure.
I mean, most other regions have some area where it's like a bunch of snow, right? But not here in Kanto. It's all just, you know, forests and grasslands and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a volcano in the south, but
sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I don't know, it's all pretty temperate around here. Anyways, moving on to the Galar region. The first entry says, when Tauros begins whipping itself with its tails, it is a warning that the Pokemon is about to charge with astounding speed.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, so like if you see it whipping its tail, I guess hide behind something.
Watch out, it's coming.
Hide behind a tree so it will knock the tree down and
well, just like
down.
I ran for cover earlier. I mean, you know, you just got to get out away. Just be far away.
You've been taking your raging Tauros lessons very seriously, Mr. Curse. I'm glad to see you put the same amount of vigor into those lessons as you do into mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, not quite as much, but you know, pretty close.
Yeah. You know, in fact, you could do to have a little bit less vigor in my lessons.
I would never.
Okay.
Yeah, settle down.
Please settle down. The last entry from the Galar region says, the Tauros of Galar are volatile in nature, and they won't allow people to ride on their backs. Volatile.
That's because all they got to eat is tea and crumpets, isn't it?
Well, they eat curry, I think. I think they only eat curry.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that does it on the regional entries for Tauros. We do have some unique entries. The first one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Tauros, a wild bull Pokemon. When whipping itself with its three tails, its tackle is a powerful destructive force.
Ooh.
And then he has another entry here. It says, Tauros, its special attack is tackle. Due to their docile nature, they won't attack without being assaulted first. Now that's interesting. That's kind of opposite to what we've learned. That they only attack in response to being attacked.
Well, maybe Ash, when he got that Pokedex entry, maybe he was in the Alola region.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm pretty sure he was still journeying around the Kanto region at this point.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense.
Now, Ash, I've heard his Tauros herd has won quite a few rewards.
Have they? I do know that Ash does have an entire horde or a herd, maybe a horde of Tauroses. I haven't heard about their accomplishments though.
Yes, they're just very fine specimens.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how he has the time when he's challenging the gym leader from every single region and fighting in every single competition or league match there is.
Stays busy.
Right.
He's busy. He's a busy guy. All right. The last unique entry comes to us from Go's Rotom phone. It says Tauros, the Wild Bull Pokemon, a normal type. Tauros runs in herds in the wild. The herd member with the longest, thickest, and most scarred horns is said to be the leader. So maybe that's just something that we say, right? Maybe they don't have any concept of leadership or anything like that. We just see one with like really big,
and we
long
just
horns,
call it that.
and
Yeah,
we're like, that's the leader.
That one's got to be the boss.
That one's got to be the boss.
If it's got all those scars on it, it's got to be the one in charge.
And it may not even be the one in charge of the actual herd. It just may be the most well respected.
Or maybe it's the one that's currently charging at you at high speeds.
Sure, yeah.
That's true.
And you're going to die.
And you might die if you don't get behind a tree real quick. Guys, I am very excited right now.
Woo! If you're excited, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Do you know why I'm excited?
Why are you excited?
Because we're about to have our first Pokedex entries from the Paldea region.
Woo!
That is right. So
That's
we
right.
finally, Paldea, as you guys may know, has very recently been inducted into the National Pokedex Society. So we're only recently seeing their entries on Pokemon, and this is the first time that they've had anything new to say on a Pokemon. And it makes sense because, as we'll learn, there is a Paldean regional variant of Tauros.
No kidding.
All right.
Is it really?
Yes. Yeah. So it's I'll describe it. I don't want to give you a picture of it for reasons you'll find out later. But it's very, very similar to Cantonian Tauros. It still has the 4 legs and 3 tails. However, it has black fur and its horns are a little bit stubbier and a little bit thicker. And also there's 3 different forms of it.
Wait, what? There's 3 more Tauroses?
Say what now?
Yeah, so there's 3 different, sorry, they call them breeds. So they're all the Paldean variant, but there's 3 different breeds that all do different things. So I have a lot of entries to get through right now, so I'm gonna get through.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start off with kind of what I guess the kind of like the basic breed. They call it the combat breed.
Okay.
It says this Pokemon has a muscular body and excels at close quarters combat. It uses its short horns to strike the opponent's weak spots.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
And then the second combat breed entry says, this kind of Tauros, known as the combat breed, is distinguished by its thick, powerful muscles and its fierce disposition.
Okay.
Now,
So what type is that?
It's fighting. It's a fighting type.
Okay, normal Tauros is
Normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
but normal Tauroses have thick, powerful muscles and fierce dispositions. So I don't know how that
is any different.
Distinguished in the combat breed.
Okay, I think I've described pretty well the black fur that they have. And they have their horns are thicker and stubbier than regular.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. And might I say, your description is
Oh my gosh.
You're really
great, Professor.
backtracking here, Mr. Curtis.
Backtracking a bit.
Yeah, but I will agree. As far as regional variants go, there isn't a large difference. Its type is different, which is big, but it's not something that you really see physically.
Right.
Okay, moving on to the next one now. Now you'll find that there is some more difference here, Mr. Curtis, because this next breed is the Blaze breed.
Ooh.
Yes. It says, when heated by fire energy, its horns can get hotter than 1800 degrees Fahrenheit.
Woo! Not as hot as a Magmar.
Those gored by them will suffer both wounds and burns.
Now that's a bad way to go.
And death, and probably death. You'll probably die.
Right.
Because it will cauterize the wound right away, so it won't be able to heal over.
That's awful.
Pretty gruesome, these Blaze breed Tauruses. The second entry for Blaze breed says, People call this kind of Tauros the blaze breed due to the hot air it snorts from its nostrils. Its 3 tails are intertwined.
Cool.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
that.
intertwined tail. Also, they didn't really describe this, but it has like some red hair in its little poofy spot.
Oh, cool.
I can see that.
The next one, again, is fairly different. By the way, that was a fire and fighting type, if that wasn't obvious.
Nice. Yeah.
The next one is the Aqua Breed.
Ooh. What type is
Can
that?
you guess what type? Yeah, can you guess? I don't know. You want to take a wild guess?
Bug and fighting?
Close. Water and fighting.
Ah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It says, this Pokemon blasts water from the holes on the tips of its horn. The high-pressure jets pierce right through Taurus's enemies.
Wow, just
Woo!
beams right through them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Doesn't matter if you're steel type Pokemon, you got really strong shield. Nope, just pierces right through you. Mm-hmm.
Well,
You're done.
it doesn't, like the Pokedexes are do a lot of the time. It doesn't say it's pierced right through any enemy. It doesn't have that, that absolute statement in it. It just says the high pressure jets pierce right through Taurus's enemies. So I'm sure that there's some that it won't pierce right through.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, and then here's the last one for the Aqua Breed, and I'm sure that Mr. Curtis will find this very interesting. It swims by jetting water from its horns. The most notable characteristics of the Aqua Breed is its high body fat, which allows it to float easily.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, so it uses the horns to swim.
Yeah, that not what I expected.
Yeah, not its tails.
I definitely thought it was the tail, which is
yeah, and I've seen the tails like when they're in the water, they do kind of like propeller around, but I guess it's really the water and the horns that does it.
That's impressive. I didn't know water squirted out of the horns.
So obviously it can control the direction the water is spraying then, because if it can spray it forward to pierce its enemies, but then behind it to propel it in the water.
Well,
unless it's going through the water backwards.
I think it's going through the water backwards.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's
that's
what I was
interesting.
thinking.
Okay. All right.
But maybe it can like rotate its horns like behind it or something and shoot the
Yeah,
water
maybe
out.
they like swivel.
Yeah, I would really need to see it in action to get a good idea. All right, but those are all of the regional Tauros entries. I mean, there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
a lot of different kinds. So thank you, Paldea region. What an explosive entry onto the National Pokedex World stage.
Woo! Boom!
Boom! We're here. We're here, guys. We're in Paldea. It feels like I'm right there. And the sun and the crazy Tauruses. I wonder if they were struck by the raging Tauruses.
out on those islands? No way. Wait, you say Alola or Paldea?
I said Paldea.
Oh, no.
Because
I heard they got
so
their
many.
own stuff going on. Something with a time travel I heard about. I don't know. I think it's conspiracy theory.
Time travel's not real, as we'll see.
It's not real.
No, it is real, I think. Guys,
What?
Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, but time travel is real. And
You
we'll
can't
get more
just
into
no.
Well,
There's
if
no
the
way.
Professor says.
We'll get more into that. There's some Pokemon that I do funky stuff with time, and we'll talk about that later on.
Okay, all right. Don't tease me.
All right. So before we move on to a pop quiz, maybe, who knows?
What?
Maybe it's a quiz. Maybe it's some kind of.
Don't tease me like that. I don't want to. I don't want to.
We'll see. We'll see when we get
Professor,
there.
I'm getting ready. I'm so ready for the quiz.
No.
I do have an excellent essay here provided to us from a virtual student. It comes to us from Evan. Thank you very much, Evan. So this essay says, Tauros is a brown quadrupedal Pokemon with 3 long tails with poofs at the end, a gray mane, horns that look to be made out of metal, and 3 silver dots that get progressively smaller as they go up Taurus's head. Tauros live in a herd. If it has the thickest and most scarred horns, it is the leader. Tauroses are always male and commonly live in the Safari Zone. That's true. I don't think we mentioned that. They are all male. Which is interesting.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how that happens, but it is. It's true. When they run, they whip themselves seemingly to gather anger and let it out on its foes. This can also be a warning that it is about to attack. If there are no targets for Tauros to attack, it will run into trees to quench its thirst for battle.
Woo!
Also,
thirsty.
like Rhyhorn, it seems to not be able to turn once it's running at its victims.
Loser.
Yes, I would take special note of that because it might come up later. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh.
Okay.
In Alola, it is more calm.
Okay.
right.
Yes, thank you, Evan. Yes, of course you get extra credit for that. Excellent extra credit work. Very well written essay. May I say? And waiting for the gold star decision from Mr. Curtis. Is it?
Mr. Curtis.
Well, I mean, this has just been a class of giving out many gold stars.
Might as well give me one while you're at it.
No. I only had 3 set aside for this lesson, so this is my 3rd one right here. Here you go.
Oh. Wow, you got the last one.
Yeah.
He's starting to run out of gold stars from how many extra
right.
credit and work we've been getting. So thank you
We
guys.
just have so
much.
many good virtual students, is what it is.
Stars made out of gold are very expensive. Just saying.
I gotta say, I've taught this class many times, and I've never had a class that's been so responsive and so eager to learn. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right,
Yes.
but enough about that.
Yes.
It's time to move on.
Is it time?
I think
Professor.
we should put away our Pokedexes.
No.
And I
Yes.
think we should get out some pens and
Yes.
pencils. And I think we
No.
should
Oh,
get
got
out
it
our
right
Rotom
here.
laptops.
Yes.
Because it is quiz time, everybody.
Woo!
It's time for quiz.
I like to quiz.
Yes,
Gonna
Mr. Curtis
get
likes
that
to quiz.
No.
Can't get that quiz. Woo!
All right. Is everybody ready? Does everybody have all their stuff out? Corbin, I see you're just kind of sitting there moping.
I know, I'm ready. I'm good.
Guys.
Hey, Corbin, right here. Look. You ready?
What?
You ready for this?
Yes,
Ready
I
for
guess.
this? It's a
Okay.
quiz.
Can you
All right.
listen? Hey, Corbin, could you just act excited? We got a lot of students here that hate quizzes, and they need to know that you're really into it.
Need to focus. Hold on. Need to get the character.
Take your time. Take all the time you need.
Can you call action for me real quick?
Hold on. Do we need to get you whipped up into a frenzy?
Yeah.
No, you don't need to
we need to whip you up into a frenzy for this.
Just call action. I'll be ready.
Okay. And action.
Oh boy, yes, a quiz. Woo!
Oh, wow, I believe him. Okay, you know what? That's giving me the energy I need to read this first question.
I cannot wait, Professor.
Question number 1. How can you tell which Tauros is the leader of the herd? Okay, all of the answers are in. Corbin says you can tell which Tauros is the leader of the herd by it's the one that has more scratches and scars on the horns, is what he says. And then Mr. Curtis says, when you look at the herd, the obvious leader is the one with the horns that are longest, thickest, and covered with scars the mostest.
What?
Thank you.
Yes, so you're both right. Corbin, you could have said long and thick.
Sorry.
I'm tempted to dock you points for not saying that, but
Sorry,
honestly,
I'll never forget it. I'll get it tattooed on me when I'm old enough.
Yeah, and then you can
what
say
exactly are you gonna get tattooed on yourself?
it's gonna say if you mess with the Tauros, you get the horns, and then it's like really big horns that are all scarred up and messed up and stuff. So we know you're the leader.
And then I'm gonna
There you
on
go.
each forearm I'm gonna get long, my left forearm, and then thick on my right one.
Please don't do that. All right, question number 2. All right, this is a fill in the blank. All right,
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
Tauros from blank are blank, whereas Tauros from blank are more blank. All right, I have the answers for question number 2. Sorry, I smacked the recording device there just because I'm so excited.
Please do not do that again.
It's hard not to, but my hand is right next to where I go to get to the mouse on my Rotom desktop. All right, so and as I normally do for fill in the blank questions, I'm just gonna take your answers and throw them in. So Corbin says Tauros from Alola are more chill, whereas Tauros from Galar are more volatile. Okay, and Mr. Curtis says Tauros from Galar are volatile, whereas Tauros from Alola are more calm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of like switched the order, I think.
We did,
of
yeah.
how you did it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's sure. You know what? I had it the way that Corbin had it because I don't think.
Well, then that's correct, and Curtis is wrong. So sorry.
No, you're both correct. You guys both got the gist. All right, so that was one hard question out of the way. You successfully navigated one hard question.
I have shamed myself.
Okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You've soiled yourself.
Stop soiling yourself, please. Okay, question number 3. Both Tauros and Rhyhorn are known for raging and charging enemies. What is a major similarity between their charges? All right, so I do have both of the answers to that question. I am going to read them now, so get ready. Is everybody prepared for the answer?
I am ready.
All right. Corbin said they both don't turn when they charge. Okay, could be right, could be wrong, we're not sure.
Okay.
And Mr. Curtis says, Tauros and Rhyhorn both charge only in straight lines. Changing directions are not for them. They are one track, and track is in quotation marks for some reason. They are one track focused. Can you explain to me the quotations, Mr. Curtis? What do they represent?
Like they're single one track, like one track, one straight track, one line.
So were you making a pun? Is that what you were trying to do?
It was a play on they have a one track mind.
Sure.
But they're one track focused because they're running along one track and they've only got one thing on the mind.
Oh my god. You could have still just said one track mind.
Yeah, but then I'm talking about the mind, but I'm also double meaning it. So
is this why
talking
you
about
took,
the actual track that they're running on?
Is this why you took so long to answer? Because you were thinking of that pun.
Listen, art comes to me in waves, and sometimes you just have to let it wash over you.
I'm still waiting for it to come in your first wave. I've never seen your artistic abilities, Mr. Curtis.
They're coming, and when they hit, boy, they hit hard.
Can't wait.
All right, question number 4, and I think this is the hardest one. All right.
All right. Let's do it.
Name 3 breeds of Paldean Tauros and one major physical identifier of each that is not their horns.
Oh.
All right. All 3 Pokedex entries gave unique physical attributes of the different breeds of Tauroses, and I would like you to give me those. All right, I have both of the answers in. I'm really hoping you guys stumbled here. I kind of said that this was a really hard quiz, and nobody has gotten any questions wrong. But we'll see. So,
I'm nervous.
What I asked for was the 3 breeds of Paldarian Tauros and the physical...
Paldarian! You got them Paldarian Tauros.
Did I say Paldarian?
You got them 3 baby them Paldarian.
Oh, God. I can never say words wrong. 3 breeds of Paldean. Paldean listeners, if you could write in and let us know how to correctly pronounce your country and how you prefer to be identified.
Region.
So yeah, name 3 breeds of Paldean Tauros and one major physical identifier for each. Corbin says combat, and he gave them a stout, muscular, imposing body. Blaze, an intertwined tail, and then Aqua, body fat for buoyancy. All right, he did the assignment, and he gave me 3 things, so we'll see if those are right. Mr. Curtis says, oh god, Aqua Breed is got that chunky body fat to be all floaty in the water. Blaze breeds got them interwoven tails, and the combat breeds got those big, powerful muscles. Guys, you were both fully correct. Wow. Excellent job. You were very clearly paying attention during this lesson.
Wow.
You know? I tried to stump you, but honestly, I think this really shows how far you're progressing. I think early class Corbin would have definitely gotten some of those questions wrong.
Professor, I thought you said these quizzes were harder. I'm just confused. What's going on?
Okay. All right, so what I'm hearing is they're not hard enough, Corbin. So I'll make sure to make the next quizzes even harder.
Appropriately challenged. I enjoyed it.
All right, yeah, watch yourself. But anyways, that does it.
I think your quiz was just perfect, Professor. Just like you are, just perfect.
Wow.
God, sometimes the butt kissing is even just a little bit too much for me.
Do we get 100s?
Yes, you both get 100s. Excellent job.
Right.
I'm very proud
Mr.
of
Curtis,
both of you.
I would say that was a very fair and equitable decision. Wouldn't you say that?
I agree.
I would say that.
All right, that does it for our lesson on Tauros. Does anybody know who we're talking about next week?
Ooh.
We're back in the water.
Titan.
We're back in the water.
More Paldean. It's a Titan.
No. I know that Paldea has just been added to the Pokedex, but we got a ways to go before we talk about any of their Pokemon. But they've got some really, guys, I've been perusing the entries. They have some very interesting Pokemon. I'm excited.
I got to tell you, all seriousness, I think Paldea has some of the coolest looking Pokemon.
Great. Like, well, how about you make, I don't know, what do the kids call it these days? A podcast of some kind, Corbin?
Yeah.
And you talk about all your favorite Pokemon from Paldea, because that's not what we talk about here in this classroom.
How many of our students would like that? A little spin-off lesson with Corbin where he gets to talk about his favorite Pokemon, eh? We could call it the President's podcast.
And then well, you're not
work.
president anymore. I think that would be interesting. And then I would like to have a spin-off podcast where I could, listen to Corbin's favorite Pokemon and talk about how stupid he is and how bad all of those Pokemon are.
Ha ha, stupid boy.
You were nice in the beginning of the lesson.
I know how far I've changed, how far I've come since then. It feels like it's been years. Focus up. Does anybody know who we're talking about next? It's not Satitan. It is a water type Pokemon.
It's got to be Eevee, right?
No, Eevee is not a water type Pokemon.
I think you're thinking about Vaporeon.
You are thinking about Vaporeon.
Wait. Is it Lapras?
Not quite. Lapras is coming up very soon, but no. Next week we're talking about Magikarp.
Oh,
I know.
Magikarp, really?
Please, students, I remind you that attendance is important, and while Magikarp may sound like it's a boring Pokemon,
I think we're gonna lose some listeners.
I will be taking attendance next time, so make sure you're all here.
Listen, I've been teaching this class for a very long time, and I know that everybody skips the Magikarp lesson, but don't. Magikarp is very important, very, very important. It honestly, it's provide.
I can't play hooky that day. I can't play hooky.
No, you can't. You never can, Corbin.
No.
You can never. You always have to be here.
Especially if you want a chance of becoming the next president.
Watch that be our watch like every student to turn out for that one. Like that's gonna be like the highest listened to lesson that we have is Magikarp.
Yeah, sure, maybe we'll see. But they're all for a grade, so you should go to every single lesson.
Yes.
But anyways, that does it. So yes, we're learning about Magikarp next week. Before we go, I just want to say, if you want to reach out to us, there's a couple of different ways to do that. We have a Twitter, flying Pokemon themed, of course. We have a Gengar mail. We have a Patreon, and we also have a Discord server. You can find them all. They're all WWO Pokemon, except for the Discord server, which is... Was it Saffron City Learning Server?
Saffron City. Well, here's the thing. The links to them are going to be in the description of the lesson on Spot a Flagon and Flapple Podcast, and they're also going to be in the description of each lesson.
Yeah, and we got a lot of fun, nifty things for people who subscribe to us on Patreon. All additional content. We're not taking anything away. I just want to stress that. Everything is still here. It's just
like what?
Oh, like what? Well, I think the number one thing, the biggest thing that people are going to want to, sign up for is Mr. Curtis's hand-drawn pictures of the weekly Pokemon, which is why I subscribe.
Woo! And let me say, it is a doozy this week. I hope you all are ready.
I cannot wait to see it. He doesn't show us until after the lesson.
I cannot wait to see your Tauros.
I'm so eager. But we have that to look forward to.
Guys, listen, $1, you get all of Mr. Curtis's drawings, and you get to see. You get access to the entire Discord, pretty much.
Yes, and you get monthly Q&A. You get monthly.
Not for $1.
Oh, not for $1. Oh, sorry, you only said $1. Yeah, $1 gets you Discord and pictures, and those are like the big things.
Just $1. Just Mr. Curtis pictures and Discord access. $1. That's it.
And if you want to do more, then you can get some bigger.
But
and better
you are
things.
not obligated to. But we appreciate those who have so far.
You're not obligated to pay anything, obviously.
Of course.
The Saffron City still pays us, and of course, we do have to offset some funds, thanks to Mr. Curtis's decisions during the Kangaskhan lesson.
Nobody.
But
nobody has to do
people
that.
died.
Yeah, but if you feeling generous, head to our Patreon at patreon.com/WWO Pokemon. But enough about that. I think it's a good time to.
Oh
yes, go ahead.
If I may just say thank you to Tech.
Yes, of course.
Tech the Tauros is named after one of our patrons from the Patreon. Tech. Just so you know, that may happen to you if you subscribe.
It may happen.
That's why that name sounded so cool to me.
That's why it was so cool. All right, guys, that does it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.